Bayer Leverkusen made a massive statement on Saturday when they thrashed Bayern Munich 3-0 in a dominant victory. The victory means Xabi Alonso's men are 31 games this season unbeaten and are 5 points clear of the Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich. With an utterly devastating display and a tactical masterpiece by Xabi Alonso, a lot of players in the game were insane, and Bayer Leverkusen never looked like losing at one point. With a lot of the players being stars in their own right, Álex Grimaldo has emerged as one of the best fullbacks in the world this season. With him destroying Bayern Munich, let's look into how good he was in this game and how good he has been for Leverkusen this season. Let's get into it. Now, to put some context on Álex Grimaldo played for Benfica for most of his career. He played over 300 games for that team. Obviously, being out in Portugal, he never really got respected, but he was respected amongst some people online. This year, he went to the new Bayer Leverkusen team with Xabi Alonso on a free, leaving Benfica, and it was seen as a major coup at the time. Now, despite being a left back, he is very much a wing back and is very forward, and it realistically plays at left mid for this Leverkusen side. However, he still does a lot of defensive work, and this season he has been insane and scored 10 goals and got 11 assists from his deep position. Now, Xabi Alonso's side actually have a 5-back in most games, but they like playing narrow and moving to where the ball is. This is so they can usually suffocate the other teams out wide when they have the ball, so they pass it inside towards most of their players being there. And when there's not much of a gap between the midfield and the attackers, they often can pass the ball off to each other and give it to someone like Wirtz or Grimaldo who can run with it. Now, in this game, in a sense, Bayern Munich tried to do the same thing by countering that with Leverkusen, and they tried to be compact and try and keep Leverkusen on one side. But because Leverkusen had such dynamic wingers such as Stanisic and Grimaldo playing in this game, and Bayern played a high line to try and keep Leverkusen away from the pitch, but this didn't help. Instead of Leverkusen had someone that hold up the ball like Boniface, they just kept passing it through over and over again and kept having runners off the ball such as Adli and Wirtz. This, and combined with their triple pressing that they did when they got into a triangle and they saw a pressing opportunity was on, they would all close down on the player, was brilliant at getting the ball back. Grimaldo often plays deep on that left side. He's out there a lot, you don't see him. But when they get the ball in sustained possession, and because they're so still not even at the halfway line of the pitch, they often have Grimaldo and the other wing back rush up the pitch. A lot of the time only one rushes up and the other one will stay back, and we saw Stanisic score in the first half when he was there being alert to the ball. Grimaldo is very attacking and very good at being aware when his team are going forward. There was a part in the first half where Leverkusen did a really long ball for a volley for Teller. It got saved and the rebound went to Wirtz. However, Grimaldo, as you can see, is in the box waiting for that rebound on that left side. He's pretty much playing as a left wing into the striker position, being able to get into the box, and this is because he's got impeccable timing and a brilliant technical ability, which makes him as clinical as any striker out there. And Bayern haven't usually played with a back three, so they tried this game, I guess, to play it to sort of cover these areas, but often the wing backs would get missing and didn't really know where to defend. This was even causing even more space for people like Stanisic and Grimaldo to get inside, and when they pushed into midfield and moved into that side, then there was a lot of players for Leverkusen overman in the Bayern Munich midfield. Every time Leverkusen also attacked or countered or had the ball in possession attackingly, they like doing triangles going forward, especially on the left and right side. So what would happen is even Adli or Teller from the right side would come over to the left side and create a triangle with Grimaldo and Hickapi, who was the centre back, overlapping for them both. This often would make it very hard for the Bayern Munich players to get the ball back because they would always have a player open. And despite Bayern Munich having a wing back, if someone else came over like Adli or a Wirtz, it meant they were basically overran. 5v4 or 4v3 sort of happening all the time. And as you can see with the goal that Grimaldo ended up scoring, the three centre backs of Bayern are trying to cover that area and try and keep them closed in that right side. You've obviously got Adli at the back post making sure Upamecano's there, so Upamecano has to mark him and cover his back just in case he gets behind. But because there's an abundance of players here, because you've got Hickapi the left back and you've got Grimaldo the left wing back here, while also having Teller the right winger and Wirtz just in behind, they are very much undermanned. So Kim actually sits back and lets them do what they want because he needs to get the DM to tackle the ball. However, because you're getting closer and closer to the goal, this is poor because it ends up meaning there's a 2v1 against Stanisic where Teller and Grimaldo could just do a simple 1-2 of each other. It completely disjoints the whole Bayern Munich defence when they get closer to the goal. Upamecano drops deeper even though Adli hasn't pushed forward because he's even got the left back there covering, and Kim steps up thinking the defensive midfielder is going to be able to block that pass going through. This whole move is not quick enough for Bayern, and it's quite an easy pass the way through for Teller, and it's a brilliant finish by Grimaldo. If you haven't watched this guy this season, this guy's been scoring bangers every single week. He's got one of the best technical abilities I've ever seen. He just seems it's so easy easy to score. And in a sense, I think he has a lot of brilliant technical abilities like Trent Alexander-Arnold has, but more as an attacking striker way. He really doesn't find these angles hard to score by, and he's probably one of the most clinical players in this Leverkusen side. And it's so interesting how Bayer Leverkusen attack, because they have players so free to do anything they want. There was another attack later on in the game where Grimaldo sort of gives up the position of midfield left winger, but he goes more into the centre. But this is because at this point they have Adli actually overlapping on that left side for him. Despite Adli being up front, he's not the left centre back. He's not the one that was doing it in the first goal. It changes whoever depends who's there. And they created a triangle on the right side with Wirtz, Hoffman and Teller, and the left side it was Xhaka, Grimaldo and Adli, a very different composition. And Grimaldo is not really doing a lot of defensive work for Leverkusen. He doesn't need to. They have their defensive midfielders like Andrich in there and Xhaka, and brilliant defenders. Tapsoba was especially good today. I want to give a lot of credit to him. But he often is picking the ball up when there's a loose ball around it. He's so aware of getting to them loose balls. In this game, he made 6 recoveries, so that's 6 times the ball had no possession by either team, and he picked the ball up and run with it and go up front. And the more this game went on, Bayern kept letting Leverkusen go on the counter and having their line go even higher and higher to try and force the issue. But not only could they not break the impenetrable defence of Leverkusen, they would have people like Teller, Grimaldo, Stanisic running at them every single second, and then when Frimpong came on, the same happened. And they just couldn't live with a wing back. In this game, Grimaldo had expected goal contribution of 0.72, and now but his goal was very close, so that obviously makes it a lot higher, but he also had an expected assist of 0.45. He's creating so much a game. He's creating big chances for his team. And not only can he kick the ball very long, he can kick it on the ground and make great runs with it, and he's such a good presser and progressive runner with it. And I loved it. Every single time Grimaldo picked up the ball, he'd try and go inside of it, and that creates space for Leverkusen because of the compact team of Bayern being around them. As soon as they do an inside ball and it works and they give the ball to Xhaka, they can push out the right side. And this kept happening in the first half. Grimaldo kept giving them the space with his brilliant passing and ingenuity in that midfield, and it kept giving Leverkusen a lot of freedom down the right. In the second half, they had freedom down either side because they did what they wanted when they wanted, and they are easily a superior team to Bayern Munich right now. And the whole team deserves credit. I think a lot of the players in the team are really good and really come to this tactical system a lot, so Xabi Alonso deserves a lot of credit. And I think for Grimaldo's performances this season, he does deserve a lot of credit. He has got the best out of him, putting him where he needs to be, considering he never even played in a top 5 league before. However, Grimaldo is one of the most exciting wing backs in football in the last 5 to 6 years. Brilliant technical ability. He can take corners, he can take free kicks to a very great level, and he has great tactical awareness when to be in the box, when to be outside it, and when to make runs for his team. Works brilliantly well on that left side with Florian Wirtz, who I thought pressing is amazing, and it would be a joy for him to go to any other team despite them getting on a free and someone else should have bought him in the summer. Let me know what you guys think about Bayer Leverkusen's title chances. They've been really good this season. Let's hope they do it. And let me know what you think about Grimaldo as a player or Xabi Alonso's potential future at Liverpool. I appreciate your time watching this video. I would recommend, if you like any of this tactical stuff, go and watch my video about Florian Wirtz yesterday. I thought he's brilliant in this game. His pressing is a real key for this team. And if you like any of my content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.